Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and this one we are testing the GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super in STALKER 2, and we have the Zotac Ampolo model of the card. Here are all the specs of the GPU. We have 16 gigabytes of memory from Micron. We have the latest NVIDIA driver 566.14, which is the game ready driver for STALKER 2. Resizable bar is also enabled inside BIOS. Over here in Task Manager, we have 64 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 MHz CL36. And for MSI Afterburner, no overclocks are applied. Everything is set to stock settings. So let's jump into the game and check out the frame rates. So here we are inside the menu, guys. I'm going to start it off at 1440p resolution instead of 4K at first, because most of you are going to be playing at 1440p with the GPU. And for FOV, I'm using 100. I don't like very high FOV in single player games. VSync is turned off. Reflex is enabled. No FPS limits. And for the graphics settings, we have the epic settings at first. We're going to use that, and that is everything is set to epic except motion blur, which I have turned it to 0, which means it's disabled. And sharpness also by default it was like 20. I made it 50 because it looks otherwise kind of soft. And we are using DLSS, that is set to DLAA right now. The game also has XeSS, TAA, TSR, and FSR support. So we're going to stick to DLAA right now. And there is not much a difference from TAA and DLAA. You get like 2-3 FPS more with TAA, but DLAA looks better in my eyes at least. And the game also has support for DLSS and FSR3 frame generation as well. So I made a manual save over in this area because we are very close to this, one of the most demanding area in the game. And look at that FPS. We are getting like 64 FPS right now over here, but don't worry, it will drop heavily soon once I get to the most demanding area of the game. Not the game, probably not, but as far as I have found so far. And yeah, it's gonna be daytime really soon, and this is when I would really like to test the game at daytime, because this game looks very good, like graphically stunning, I would say. And we are heading towards that demanding area. And one thing this game really suffers from, even in epic setting, is the tree pop-ins. Like, look at that. If I like go back and then go forward, there's this constant popping at the distance, especially in an open world game like this, massively open world. It's very annoying because most of the time we will be outside exploring, and these trees will randomly keep on popping. And yeah, this is one of the most demanding areas so far we have found. And look at that FPS drop to like 55. We are going to enter the camp. It's going to drop even more. And the GPU usage, as you can see, is dropping at times. Let's enter the camp real quick. Look at those reflections. And the game, I forgot to say in my earlier video with the 3070 Ti, the game does have support for ray tracing, but it is only software-based ray tracing with Lumen and Nanite of UE5. And mostly at the distance, the reflections are done by using static reflections only. And yeah, so we are inside the camp now, and look at that FPS dropping now to again 55. And it dropped more at the night time, to be honest, I guess, but I still wanted to do the benchmark at daytime. But regardless, as you can see, the GPU usage also drops like to 91 at times. It's very like CPU bound in this camp, probably because of most of these NPCs which are around here, and there's so much going on. A bunch of houses as well. And look at that frame time graph also. Constant stuttering. You will see that throughout this game, no matter where you are, unless you enable frame generation, which I'm gonna do afterwards. And in this area, I dropped to like 93, as you can see. CPU usage is like very high for a game like this. I think it should be a bit lower. It can be optimized. I feel like GPU usage is not the problem for this game. But as soon as we leave this camp, we are gonna be good again. We are gonna get above that 60 FPS mark at native. And look at those tree pop-ins like constantly. Even at epic settings, this is unacceptable to me. We are close to an anomaly, I guess. Let's have a look. Let's throw some balls. And are the balls unlimited though? Let me know, guys. Yeah, there's an anomaly right here. Thank God I didn't walk over it. So yeah, guys, 60 FPS average with 1440p. This is what they had shown at their hardware spec sheet, that you can get 1440p 60 FPS with high settings using 3070 Ti. And we're gonna try the high settings now soon. But we're gonna before that try DLSS quality. So at 1440p, I'm gonna enable quality DLSS on top of epic quality settings. Let's apply that. And these are the rest of the settings. Everything is set to epic except motion blur. And look at that now. Look at that FPS. It's going over 80 now. And the pop-ins, we can't do much about those. Unfortunately, we just have to deal with that. I love these anomalies. They're so beautiful in this game. This game, you will only see trees and plants and vegetation all over the map. Of course, you are in Chernobyl. So yeah, it's not that demanding. As you can see, we are standing under these trees and a lot of vegetation around, and it's not that crazily demanding like in many other games. But in this game, what's demanding more is NPCs around you and settlement areas, camp areas. They're much more demanding. Oh, there are some enemies. Let's go. Let's have a fight, guys. Oopsie. Oh my gosh. They have some really deadly aim there. Oh shit. Oh no, did I die? I just died from a grenade there. There's no grenade indicators also. And let's go to the camp real quick. This is where I'm gonna do my benchmark video, because this is one of the most demanding areas. Look at that frame drop there and spikes. GPU usage dropping to 80s now, 78, because we are using DLSS, and that's why the CPU is being stressed even more with the upscaling. That's why the GPU usage keeps on dropping further down. So even I have seen the 7800X 3D like bottlenecking in this game, in this area. So yeah, come on devs, please optimize this game further. You can do it, I know. I do know that you have been through a lot over the last few years because of what's going on. So I'm gonna give you guys a pass on that for not optimizing this game. But I think you can do it further down the road after a few months maybe. I hope you don't take over a year to fix this. At least the pop-ins, fix them first. Those are very annoying, especially in epic and high graphic settings. So as you can see guys, we are still like CPU bound, 74% GPU usage, and we are like averaging like 66 67 FPS. We didn't gain much, especially when you are around this camp area. But if you go outside, as I said, you definitely gain a lot more frame rate overall. Now on top of epic quality settings, I'm gonna enable DLSS frame generation. On top of DLA, I'm not using DLSS quality yet because we are getting like 60 FPS or close to 60 FPS most of the time, which is the base FPS I'm talking about. So we can use DLSS frame generation to boost our FPS, and I don't think the input delay will be that crazy. But let's have a look. As you can see right now, the FPS is sitting over 90 and the GPU usage still drops to like 95 at times. But the thing is that the frame time graph has smoothened out a lot when using DLSS frame generation. As you can see, this is happening in most of the newer games, which tells me that the developers are really not optimizing their games for native resolutions anymore, which is very sad to see. But I hope you don't do that. Please optimize your games for native resolution. And let's explore this side of the area real quick. And yeah, now it plays really good with frame generation turned on, and except especially when you're outside the camp. And we're getting even 100 plus FPS right now. And if you want to play, you can play it this way with frame generation turned on without using DLSS quality. It is like a very minor input delay, which I can't even notice honestly at this point. And I'm really trying to find a lot of ammo for my SMG. Unfortunately, I can't. And people were like saying that the game doesn't have a dynamic shadow for the flashlight. Oh my gosh, they just turned on us. I was expecting that to happen. And guys, the AI in this game, I mean the enemies, They are very smart. And they have really good aim as well. And I really like that. Which makes the game a bit more difficult and interesting. But both of them are dead. Just the one guy left. Deal with him. Oh my gosh, there's one more. I really need to change these controls, you know. Some of them are very confusing, like the leaning with Z and C. Alright, let's go. And right now it's raining and it doesn't seem to be that demanding, the rain whatsoever. So I just climbed up this water tank and we did... Oh, we got a gun. Nice. Let's equip that. But do we have ammo? That's the question I have. Look, oh yeah, we do have some ammo. But anyway, as you can see from up here, we are getting 100 FPS. Quite a good experience, I would say. So up next, I'm gonna enable quality DLSS and leave frame generation turned on top of epic graphics settings. And we are still up here, up in the water tank. And what I'm gonna show you is just look at that tower over there. And once I go, just look away from that and then just do it very fast. I don't know if you can notice that, but it just disappears suddenly and it appears. Yeah, there. It just loads in. Yeah, look at that. When I do it very fast. Same with these, what are those tanks over there? Silos or whatever you want to say. They just pop in like out of nowhere. I mean, the draw distance is pretty good for the trees and all that stuff over there. That radar dish. That tower over there, that radar station as well. I really want to go there. I'm really excited. But yeah, those pop-ins are unacceptable, you know. I don't like that. So now the rain is over. Let's quickly head down. So yeah, guys, as you can see, GPU usage is still not that great. Gonna pick that up. It drops to like 95, 94 at times. But regardless of that, it's pretty smooth now with quality DLSS. And these grass shadow pop-ins, everything is like popping, not just the trees. Yeah, look at that. What is happening with that shadow? Disappearing and reappearing. It's not nice. It is killing all the immersion in this game, in such a beautiful game like this. And obviously with quality DLSS turned on top of frame generation, I can really notice the downgrade in image quality. And unfortunately, that's how it is games these days now. Oh, we got some dogs. I think they can deal with them on their own. Yeah, as I'm saying, the AI is very good in this game. And it's very noisy at the distance, the trees, because of quality DLSS. That's why I keep saying native is always better than upscaling, you know. But in some games, DLSS does perform better. In some only, like Silent Hill 2, DLSS does perform better there in terms of instead of native. But in most games, native is the way to go. I don't know who says what. And the problem is that the game devs, they don't really optimize the game for native resolution. That's where the problem lies. And we are getting like 118 FPS average. 1% low is like below 60, which means it's not smooth. And most of the times you won't have any issue, but sometimes it will drop your FPS. And now we are entering the campsite and have a look at that. GPU usage dropping again to 92. VRAM is slightly over 10 gigs. Won't have an issue with this GPU because of the 16 gigs. And we are heavily CPU bound in this area. And this is what I was talking about, guys. Every time you start the game, it's gonna compile the shaders every time. And it takes like a minute for me. It might take you more depending on the hardware or less. So now I'm still at 1440p resolution. I'm going to use the high quality settings and we are going to use DLAA. And these are the rest of the settings. We don't need to use DLSS FG or frame generation or DLSS quality either for these settings. So we are in the camp area at daytime. This is the perfect time to be like exploring this game. And look at that FPS. Now we're getting quite good FPS over here in the campsite, but it is very stuttery still out here. Let's get outside again and see what happens. We'll probably get like 80 FPS. Okay, now I have figured out the keys actually. Look at that. It just vanishes and reappears. Yeah, guys, as you can see, it's quite a playable experience with high settings, but you will see even more pop-ins on high because in Epic already we had so many pop-ins. So forget about lower settings. So we're getting like 80 FPS now, and this is quite good. And the game also looks pretty great, but from Epic, I mean high to Epic, it's a big jump in visuals also. Don't we have any device to see radiation? I know there's one on the HUD, but I want a device. Wow, this is gorgeous. This looks amazing, guys. Let's throw the bolts. All the rock is gonna probably come down, I guess. How do I get past? Yeah, just like that. We made it. There's something in here. Wait, just some med supplies? That's it? A bandage? No, that was definitely not worth it then. Yeah, this is locked. We need a key for that. Probably the actual stuff is in there. Whoa, that's so bright. I'm gonna also enable frame generation on top of high settings, on top of DLAA as well, just to see how much more FPS we can get. And yeah, seems quite good now. I can't really notice any input delay whatsoever. Let's have a walk in the woods real quick. The game has a good frame generation implementation as well. I don't really see any artifacting or anything like that. Well, what was that? Is that an anomaly? Yeah. You need to keep your eyes open. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa! I just heard that thing. Oh my gosh. No, no, no. Get off me. Ooh. Get the heck off me. Man, these things are deadly. Just have one more healing. He's still there. He's still there. There we go. He died from the fire. Thankfully, the anomaly really helped me there. So yeah, as you can see, guys, quite playable. As you can see, I defeated a mutant there with these settings. It's pretty playable. You can't notice the input latency whatsoever. And can't really do much about the pop-ins, as I said. Now I'm at 4K resolution, guys, and we are using the Epic graphics settings for now, and I'm gonna use DLAA. We're gonna leave frame generation and DLSS quality for later on. And I am right here in this chimney, standing on top of this, and look at that view, quite awesome. Unfortunately, it's raining and it's cloudy as well. Let's get down, and my personal mission right now will be to go towards that radar station. I am really hyped to go there. That's one of the iconic places, I think, in Chernobyl. Let's go there real quick. There is a weight factor as well in this game because obviously it's an RPG game. So yeah, this is like that radar station is like 2 kilometers ahead. I'm gonna try and go there. Hope I don't die in the process, but right now it's raining, and as you can see, the FPS is like dropping to like 39, 38. So we will have to use some quality DLSS in order to go closer to like 60 FPS. We might not get there, but we will see. So we are entering a new region, burnt forest, but the bridge is down. Can we just swim? I hope it's not toxic. Uh-oh. What have I done? So unfortunately, guys, we can't really go that side of the map yet because we can't swim in this game because water is contaminated, of course. And the game is not that oh, not that demanding in terms of VRAM. As you can see, even on Epic settings at 4K native, we are like below 10 gigs. And obviously, if we enable frame generation, it will cross that mark. But yeah, but the textures, they are very detailed in this game. I finally have a scope. I can show you that. I actually keep on forgetting to talk about the textures. But look at all the detailing on the rocks. They're so good, the plants and everything. And especially in the interiors, I will go in the camp and show you. So we are now entering the campsite. And look at that FPS dropping to 33, 32. We were like getting 40, barely like sitting at 40, and there it drops to like 32. So yeah, guys, this is what I was talking about. Look at the FPS dropping to 29. Look at all those food. They're so detailed. I really like. Look at that glass jar, the food inside it. Look at the bottles as well. Look at that calendar. Everything is pretty finely detailed in this game. I really like that. And I am really happy that they have paid so attention to detail in this game. Now moving on to Epic settings with quality DLSS enabled, let's have a look at 4K resolution. And as you can see, we still can't get 60 FPS at the campsite, and the pop-ins are insane right now. Let's go this side of the map real quick. And the water looks quite good. I really like the water, but the reflections, I don't like the reflections on the water. They look very bad, not that greatest, honestly. And once we leave the camp, we'll probably cross 60 FPS. Yep, there we go. And the lighting in this game is also phenomenal. Everything is pretty good except the stuttering, which UE5 is very popular, we all know. And also the CPU bottleneck issue at the campsites, or where there are a lot of NPCs around. But yeah, it's constantly like spiking the frame time graph, as you can see at times, even with quality DLSS enabled, because we are like so CPU limited in this game. Like even DLSS doesn't help reduce those spikes. And one thing I really wanted to say, guys, about the shadow of my character, that it doesn't really feel that natural. The movement of the shadow, I mean, especially when in motion. The static shadow is obviously fine, but in motion, the movement, I don't really like it. Maybe it's just me. Let me know if you think the same. I'm really excited to live stream this game, you know, and explore and play this game. I've only played the Shadow of Chernobyl Stalker game, and that too I haven't completed. But yeah, I'm so far really enjoying this one. I'm also gonna try with frame generation enabled on top of quality DLSS. We can't really use DLAA and frame generation because the base FPS will be below 60, and that's gonna be terrible for the input latency. And yeah, obviously the image has become slightly blurrier. I can definitely tell that. And look at the FPS now. It's around like 80s now. Probably will be sitting around 70, 60 FPS at the campsite. We got some bandits, I guess, over here. Ooh, there he is. Where are you? I need to be very careful of these. Is that a trap? Oh, yes. He's hiding up there. I need to be very careful. Also, there are a bunch of traps you have laid out. There's one more here. Man, there's like... Hey, you! Look at that muzzle smoke. I'm worried about traps more than this guy at this point. He's reloading, I guess. You really need to go for headshots in this game, otherwise it becomes very difficult. It takes a lot of bullets to shoot them down. Oh, he has a sniper rifle, is this? And look at that lighting, it's so nice. So beautiful. I think, yeah, this should be a playable settings for 4K. I do Oh man. It's very hard to see these strings. I do recommend these settings. If you want to play at 4K, you can actually max out the game. But do keep in mind, guys, in some areas like in the campsite where there are a lot of NPCs around, your FPS is gonna drop because of the CPU bottleneck. Even if you have a 7800 X3 or maybe even the 9800 X3D, it really won't help much. Now this time I'm using the high quality settings and I had to restart the game if you change the settings, so make sure you restart. And we are using quality DLSS as well, no frame generation, and we are still in this area, and like right now we are getting 60 FPS with high settings without frame generation. I again forgot about this trap. Oh man, I am not gonna go there. I'm gonna take this way out. So yeah, it's much better now. If you don't want to use frame generation, you can use the high quality settings. Obviously there is a slightly bit of difference from high to epic settings, but it's nothing major. You can still have a good experience with high, and I do recommend this setting as well if you don't want to use frame gen. And even if you use frame gen, there is no input delay on epic settings at all. I didn't really notice any. I just arrived at the campsite, and we are still sitting above 60, which is quite good. And for the yeah, I dropped there to 94% again. The GPU usage 96. As you can see, we are heavily CPU bound. We can't really do much. 95, especially in this area. I don't know what's going on here. It like really drops like crazy. 93, 90%. And it's not that much difference at 4K, but at lower resolution it's gonna be crazy. And lastly, I'm gonna test 1080p resolution, and we're gonna use the epic graphic settings, which is basically maxed out, no motion blur, and I've set sharpness to 50. By default it's set to like 20, and we're gonna use DLAA as well. Okay, now we're getting pretty good FPS at 1080p. As you can see, 90 FPS. Let's unload that gun again, and I'm not gonna take this way this time. But yeah, at 1080p it's very noisy as well, but it's okay. It doesn't look that bad like many other games recently at 1080p resolution. They look very bad and like bloody mess, but this one doesn't do that. It looks quite good. And what's wrong with those shadows there? Why are they flickering so much? That is horrible. So we're getting like 93 FPS average, guys, and it's quite awesome even at 1080p resolution. And not really CPU bound yet. Probably in the camp we will be. We're gonna head there soon. Hey you. Where are you running? Look at that AI. He just took cover there. Very smart. Come outside. There we go. Oh, there's more. One's here. Oh gosh, how many are there? Okay, that was a lot of dogs. But anyways, guys, quite smooth experience here. And I've just arrived at the camp, and as you can see over at the camp, we are getting like 70 FPS, and the GPU usage is obviously hitting 85 as well. As I said, on lower resolution is gonna be a problem. And look at those stutters as well at times, and this is the most demanding area. 84% there, it dropped for a second. And yeah, other than this place, everything else is quite good. I'm probably pretty sure there will be more settlements or camps like this where the FPS is gonna drop, where you are gonna be CPU bound. But yeah, I hope they fix it really soon. But other than that, quite a good experience nonetheless. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed and if this video helped you, do leave a like and let me know how much FPS you are getting. How's the performance for you on your GPU and CPU combinations? Let me know in the comments down below. I will obviously go through them. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you please subscribe to the channel. We are closing in on 7,000 subscribers. I want to get there before 2024 ends, and I don't think I will without the help of you guys. Please subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Till then, take care and bye bye.